Today we're going to take a little bit different approach to it. The y-intercept of a quadratic function will always be the c value of the function. So when we have our quadratic function in standard form, the c value will be the y-intercept. It's going to tell you where a point on the y-axis would go. So to graph a quadratic function, we're going to use the vertex, which we know how to find. So we're going to use the vertex. That's going to be one of our points. Circle that. We're going to use the vertex. That's going to be our first point. It's going to be our starting point. Because we know the vertex is like the turning point of the parabola. Then we're going to graph the y-intercept. And we're going to get that by just identifying the c value. That's not going to take very much. And then we're going to use symmetry, because we know that every point on a parabola has another point symmetric to it across the axis of symmetry, and except the vertex, that's the only one that doesn't. So the y-intercept will have another point that is symmetric to it, and then we're going to pick one x value, and we're going to use the kind of like the table method to get that, and then we'll use symmetry to get the fifth point. So here's our first one we're going to graph. Y equals x squared minus 6x plus 9. Let's change this to add the opposite. Y equals x squared plus negative 6x plus 9. So what's our a value?
1.
1. Our b value?
-6.
-6. And our c value?
9.
9. Notice today we're back to identifying the c because that's going to be helpful to us today. So the first point we're always going to find is the vertex. And we know how to find the vertex. That's what we've been practicing the last couple of days. So we're going to substitute in to our formula the opposite of our b value is -6. 2 times our a value downstairs. So we end up with the opposite of -6. What's 2 times 1?
2.
2. What's -6 divided by 2? So maybe we should write that though first. We have -6 divided by 2, which then that becomes -3. What's the opposite of -3? +3. Yeah, so we end up with +3 as our x value for the vertex. Remember, we're finding the vertex. So the vertex, let's do this right now. Vertex is an ordered pair. We just found the x value of our vertex. It's 3. We just found the x value of our vertex. Now, we're going to have to find the y value of the vertex. So let's write in our equation down that when we changed it to add the opposite. And we'll substitute into that our x value of our vertex. So we'll put 3 in for x. And we'll square it. We'll put 3 in for x and multiply it by that -6. And we'll bring our plus 9 along. So what's 3 squared?
9
9
plus -18
plus -18 next,
plus 9.
plus 9.
It's still going to be 18.
So we can add in any order we want. So we can take this 9 and we can add that 9. What's that? 18. So we really have 18 plus -18. What's that? 0. So that's the y value of our vertex. We just found the vertex. So let's go put that point on our graph before we move on. Let's go put our vertex on our graph. Ordered pair 3, 0. So put a point at 3, 0 on your graph. So ordered pair 3, 0. There's where our vertex is going to be. Is this going to open up or is this going to open down?
Up.
Up, because it has a positive a value. So from here, it should branch up. Okay? So now, our next point that we're going to pick is the y-intercept. What did we say? What did I say to you? The y-intercept is going to be really easy to get. What is the y-intercept? What is the y-intercept? What is the y-intercept? The c value. So since c equals what? 9, that means we have to go put a point at what? No y-intercept. What's the x right?
0, 9.
0, 9. So since c equals 9, that tells us that the y-intercept is 0, 9. So we'll go to the y-axis and we'll put a point at 0, 9.
Where'd you get the 0 from again?
Because it's the y-intercept. All the points on the y-axis have an x value of 0. Okay? I'm going to give you a ruler not because a parabola is drawn with a ruler, but I'm going to give you a ruler because we're going to draw an axis of symmetry in our graph to help us use symmetry to get some more points. Okay? So, 2 points that are on your graph right now. That's not what I just gave you this ruler for. What I want you to do instead, we know the axis of symmetry always goes through what? Always passes through the vertex. So what I want you to do is I want you to, and if you extend it beyond, that'll kind of help. I want you to do a dashed line, because it's like an imaginary line that's going through it. So I want you to draw a dashed line going through the vertex. So draw yourself a dashed line.